Hi guys, this is Lindsay Coyle and I'm doing the first video of interviewing citizens at large in Airdrie, and we're starting with Verone Solilo and her husband Bruce. I'm making sure I said the name right. And we're just going to be talking mostly about the arts community and about our vision. So I'm going to be behind the camera and they're going to be answering my questions. So no pressure. Okay, so as you can see by the beautiful art behind, she's very talented. How long have you been painting?
I've been painting for 50 years. Long time. Yeah. Not professional training. It's all self-taught and practice and failure and a little success here and there.
Got it?
Yeah.
Excellent. You're very involved in the community. You've donated to, it was the
Airdrie Health Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've participated in a lot when it comes to the art community here in Airdrie.
Yeah.
So I guess what my first question is how's that experience been for you?
Good and bad. Good in that we discovered that there are a lot of really talented artists that live in Airdrie, and artists that deserve more recognition than they're getting, I would say. We were treasurer and president for the Arts Society for almost...
Oh, I'm rude. I have to introduce Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce. You did introduce him.
I did. Okay, I just want to make sure.
For almost 4 years. I don't think you were president for all of that, but anyway. Yeah, and then last year I did an online auction of my art for the Airdrie Health Foundation with Michelle Bates, and I donated $1,200. All of the profit, all of the money from all of that art went to the Airdrie Health Foundation. So
if I remember correctly,
that feels good to give back to the community. It's there's more rewards in giving than there is in receiving, for sure. And I'm really glad that I did that, and I'll be doing it again.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, and I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that what you contributed to is what got the urgent care, the baby warmer.
Baby warmer. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Happy
right.
to do it. Yeah.
So we were talking about how we've got a lot of arts initiatives that have kind of floundered or dissolved, and not for lack of talent and passion from the volunteers. And we're talking about really being hard to get the word out to people, creating that culture and sustaining that. So this question is more about a vision.
Yeah.
If the world was your oyster when it comes to art and culture in Airdrie, what would you like to see?
Number one is that we need a community art gallery. An art gallery where any artist who doesn't have any money, and most don't, can put their art in, take their turn having a one-person show or a group show, and people can see it. I mean, there are just so many artists concentrated here in Airdrie. I feel this could be a tourist attraction for Airdrie.
That's interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of really talented artists that are getting no recognition. I have to say, I have been recognized. I've been in the paper numerous times. There are other certain artists that have been in the paper numerous times as well, but there's a lot of others that are not getting recognized and are not getting any leg up at all. And I think we should be recognizing them and supporting them as a community, because art is what makes our lives better.
Exactly.
I mean, where do you go when you go to Canmore, for instance, I brought this up to Lindsay before. When you go to Canmore, what do you see when you go down the street? You get to see stuff you normally wouldn't spend your time worrying about when you're in your hometown. There's coffee shops, there's gift shops, and there are art galleries.
Yep.
And people like going in there and deciding, I like that one, I don't like that one, why is that? Why am I attached to that one? What is it about it that I like? Who am I that I like that? Or who am I that I don't like that? It helps you connect almost really with yourself than anything else. So, I don't know, art is culture.
It is.
It's
and
important.
after the 18 months that we've spent in
Yeah.
isolation, ask anybody what they entertained themselves with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arts and culture, I mean, and it comes in different forms. Like,
Yeah.
I'll have to say that TikTok, which is just
Yeah.
videos and,
Yeah.
you know, but singing and dancing and
Oh,
just
yeah.
like little,
Yeah.
kids are having a blast doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And they are creative.
One of the first things little kids will do is draw a picture.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look what I did. Look what I did, Grandma.
Yeah.
They'll make a picture. Yeah.
My son is 12, and he did art lessons at do you know Verone, where she had her shop on
Yes,
Edmonton Trail.
yes,
She
yeah.
also had an artist that gave lessons there.
Yeah.
And-
Pamela Johnson.
Yeah,
Yes.
and my son went there and learned all about shapes and shading, and
Yeah,
like
look at that.
he was in grade 4, I guess, when that started, and like he was a
Wonderful.
rock star during art class because his art was like,
Good. Yeah.
and
Excellent.
he's got a love for it.
Good.
And he's just now at 12 getting more physically. He's already almost 6 feet tall, and so he's going to be more athletic, but he will never lose that.
Right.
And we
Yeah.
shouldn't have to choose.
No.
That
No.
there's room for all of that.
That's
There's room
right.
for arts and culture, and there's room
Yeah.
for sports. And it seems sometimes in our city that we pit the two against each other.
It's very easy to pit them against because they're both time consuming. And one thing about a creative culture, whether you're a dancer, a singer, an artist, is what I have noticed throughout the decades is that the most critical person is yourself.
Yeah.
And artists are very hard on themselves and don't want to show it. And the greatest thing any community can do for an artist is support them. And it's not necessarily financially, but to go look at their art. Someone will look at it, and it takes a long time for anyone in any of the culture events to realize that not everyone's going to like what I do.
Yeah.
Some are going to like it, some are not. And when you have a more mature artist that can share that down and share these things through cultural events, through whatever you're doing, it helps them grow so much. I know Verone, anytime we did a show, when we invited the kids to come or we had student artists there, would always take time with them. And it was amazing for me to stand back and watch the interaction. And you can just see the confidence raise from these young children or teenagers that, you know what, your work is good.
Mm-hmm.
You like it, and that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Others will and others will not. And in order to support a cultural, we need to get the youth involved and seniors, mix them together and get them to share their ideas and thoughts and what they're doing. Through the arts, through Airdrie Arts, we attempted to do that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy task. You need the volunteers, you need the time,
Yeah.
but it is so rewarding.
Yeah.
You can really see it in everyone's faces.
So I have an idea, and I'm just going to bounce it off you guys because I haven't actually even put it on my platform, but I had an idea and I actually presented it to a couple of counselors, and you know, they said it could be viable, but I haven't talked to the arts community, so you are vicariously appointed as my arts community spokespeople. Usually when you look at a city and how you get arts in there, it's usually through public art, especially when you don't have an art studio.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was thinking is, how could we marry public art businesses who commission artists to create this public art, and also have the aspect where the public space will also show the business as like visual, that we know that they sponsored it, so that they have the advertising, because as we know, signage in Airdrie for businesses is also a challenge. So we could kill two birds with one stone and start engaging our arts and culture for creating that and making Airdrie more interesting. We have blank walls, we have ugly fences, we have so many spaces that could be so much more interesting, and put the two together to see what we can come up with.
I'm part of a group that's called Voice and Vision. Are you familiar with
No.
that? Voice and Vision is set up by a group of writers who are operating out of the library. They meet at the library.
Okay.
And what there is, I think in the last few years, it's been 14 writers, and they invite 14 artists to work with them. The writers write a piece. The artists bring a piece that's already been painted or sculpted or whatever it is, and they exchange. And then they write and create a response piece. So now you have 4 pieces, 2 writings and 2 art pieces that are created by inspiring each other. And then what we do is we display them in the library, in the limited space that there is at the library.
Yeah.
Which is another beef. I really would like the new library to have an art gallery. But anyway, that's another thing. So, I mean, why not do the same thing with businesses and have businesses and artists work together to create something that promotes them, each other.
That's
and
great.
Can display it in the business, but at the same time, the artist is also getting some recognition. I mean,
I think the point
arrangements
is
you
get financially rewarded for your work. That this is not volunteer
because
exchange.
you're doing some advertising for the business, but at the same time you're promoting yourself. And I don't know, maybe some arrangement could be made where you're selling the printing rights or publishing rights to the I don't know.
Yeah.
Some things like that maybe.
Stuff like this is already developed by various companies, or what comes to my mind right away is Disney. Mm-hmm. You look at Disney, there's a lot of artwork done at Disney, promoting Disney, but the pieces are such that if you look at it, you maybe don't know they're promoting Disney, but there's something there that catches your eye and catches your mind. You know it's Disney. Artists have the unique talent of being able to do that, to be able to create a piece and somehow put in a business logo, a picture of the business is incorporated into it. It's not just showing the building, it's not doing a picture.
Yeah.
It's doing a creation. And excuse me, let's say there's a cobbler in town. It could be something dealing with various shoes or pictures of shoes or people running. Artists are so creative in doing things like that, and their imaginations go. If people could make that joint and then let the artist go, it would be incredible what we'd come up with, what they would come up with.
Okay.
Just ideas.
Yeah, no, we're spitballing here.
Ideas.
That's great.
The most important thing that I have seen with just about every artist that I've interacted with is let them do what they do. Don't tell them what to do. Let them create.
Got it.
And it's amazing what comes out of that exercise.
Excellent.
It's unique. I watch Verone do some commission work, and the one thing she always lets people know, I'm more of an impressionist, correct? Mm-hmm. I always get the different terms mixed up, but impressionist. So what I'm going to give you is my impression of what you're telling me. And it's amazing what people come back and tell her when she's done. It's, you know, the colors that are put there. Artists use colors that I never dreamt could go together, and in my mind should never go together, but they make it work. It's letting everybody's talents come out. And we do that, marry the artist with a business, and you develop something, it will be a fantastic work of art that everybody will be proud of, and that it becomes a sellable item for the artist, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a great project.
Yeah, I think that we're at a point with arts and culture that it's like based on some of the lack of progress, in that we start looking at how to make it happen, and like what are we already doing, and bring it into that. It's kind of like along the lines.
Yeah.
And so another one was with the dramatic arts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from my block parent background, in that we do safety, like we're always teaching safety in schools, but like dramatic arts and doing a play that actually teaches like bullying and you know, road safety, all those little things tied into a story is safety.
Yeah.
And actually commissioning a troupe to go from school to school and doing this to create it, to act it, and to do it. I'm like, that would start.
It's a new learning tool. It's a new way.
And what a great way to make those kids feel important and give them a voice too.
Yeah, so there's lots of things we can do for arts.
Is so important.
Yeah, the arts community is endless. It's, like I said, it's support that they need. And it's not financial support, it's that mental, if you want to call it.
Attendance is required.
Attendance is
They
required.
need this financial support too. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I want to say thank you. I really appreciate being able to meet with you and learn a lot about, you know, your time here in Airdrie and how it's, you know, and your vision.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and part of the reason why I wanted to meet with you is you've always been so supportive on social media, which can be a little lonely at times. So I appreciate it. And this is the start of a series during the campaign of interviewing people who we serve, that what's important to you, what you want, because that's what this is about. Nobody needs to listen to politicians. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to do a quick little scan so people can see the art that you have. Like, this is breathtaking. And it's everywhere. I mean, it's so interesting. Oh, you can see me in the mirror. There we go. Okay.
This is my studio. It's just inside my front door.
And they can purchase
visit
with you.
Me anytime.
Yeah.
Let them know how they can commission you or purchase from you.
Just look up Artwork by Verone on Facebook or Instagram, and that's how you can contact me. Artwork by Verone.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.